mighty Thornycroft Antar, British Army tank transporter. This was built from 1951 and served in the army right up until 1984. It was clearly a very good vehicle. It was built by Thornycroft and really was developed in the sort of late 40s, but the British Army introduced them in 1951. It was a steel body, and it was capable of hauling 50-ton Dyson trailers, which were capable of carrying a new Centurion tank, which of course had entered service in the sort of late 40s, shortly after the Second World War. So this was specifically really designed to carry that and even other vehicles such as the Conqueror tank. So yeah, so Dinky produced this one. This was a very, very popular toy. It was massive. It was huge. It must have been, the centerpiece, especially when it came with the Centurion tank version in for many a Christmas in the sort of 1950s. What you're looking at here, this is actually, I've got to admit it, it's a reproduction box, but it's very, very good. We hardly really know, really, at a quick glance, really. It's very well done. I've had this quite a few years now. It's just set up in the loft with all the others. So, okay, let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to take the lid off. Here it is. Here it is. This is it now. Just move a bit of light onto it a little bit so it gets a bit of light around the other side. Ah, that's better, isn't it? Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, there we are. There we are. Dinky Super Toys gift number 698, tank transporter with tank. As I just said, it was introduced in the middle of 1956 with a price of 17 and 11. And this particular type of box was introduced later on in November. In about 1960, windows were introduced in here into the cab. And that continued on until it disappeared and was withdrawn in late 1964. So, it had an 8-year run and was very, very popular. Huge model. It was so big, it's classified as a super toy. So, later versions, you could actually detach the cab. Now, this is an early one, so you can't do that. It's all locked into place. And the funny thing is, I remember this one because this is one I had as a child. And it was actually... Let's move this out of the way. I actually remember this because it was found in the basement. My father found it. It was we moved into a place called Forest House, which was in Deal, which is these wonderful old Georgian properties on the seafront. And this was lying around in the basement from the previous owners, and we are talking the very early 70s. So, I mean, we moved there in 70... Well, I'm even telling you this stuff, you're not interested really, but this was about 1972, 73, so this was found, and I kept it ever since. So, really, really pleased by that. As you can imagine, it was great. So, it's all locked into place. You can't detach the trailer, so that was changed in later versions of it. There he is. There's our ubiquitous driver. The same driver as all the other. Hello. Yeah, there he is. Oh, he's very smart. Is he wearing a... Oh, look, he's wearing a tie. Yeah, good man. Very smart. Honestly, these are so unprofessional, aren't they? Because I redo that, I have to re-edit the whole thing, and it doesn't really matter. So you could drop the, there we are, could drop the trailer down at the back, and then you can load your Centurion tank. I won't make driving noises, but now how about that, eh? How fantastic is that? I mean, that would be the, as I said, that would be the pride and joy of many a young lad's Christmas in the 50s. Well, late 50s, 60s. That's cute. Yeah, the cab's slightly detached there, but I could always fix that. Wouldn't take much. So here it is with our Centurion that I talked about the other day. Yeah, there we go. The Dinky Super Toys number 851. The version with the tank was introduced about a year after the tank transporter came out on its own, and it was introduced in October 1957. The two of them combined went for 25 and 11, and that came out as Dinky 698. The transporter itself carried on. Dinky did these in two civilian versions as well. The tank transporter was number 660, but they also did a version number 908, which is a yellow cab here, silver back, red ramps, and it was actually carrying a detachable large transformer from a sort of power station on the back. I don't know what play value that is, but nonetheless, it did them. So that ran until about 1966, so it's slightly post-dated. We're slightly longer than the tank transporter version. And they also did number 986, which was... Oops, sorry, not 986, I beg your pardon, that was 908. 986, which was, again, a red cab, silver, slightly changed trailer, but the cab was the same, and it was carrying a large propeller. The load was a propeller here, a nice silver propeller, and that ran until 1964. So it's great, isn't it? Let's move that out of the way and just show the underside. Yeah, see, don't need to. There we are. That's better. That's the only trouble with it. It's just the cab is slightly detached, but Carno Limited, Thornycroft, Mighty Antar, made in England. Dinky Super Toys, tank transporter, number 660. Okay. That's about all I can think of to say, I think, on this one. I think last thing I could probably show you is this. Bring the box back for a minute. The box just says, this handsome gift set includes the tank transporter with the mighty Antar tractor and the Centurion tank. The tank transporter is fitted with ramps to allow... That's better, sorry. To handle loading and unloading of the Centurion tank. Okay, I hope you like that one. I certainly do. It's always one of my favourites. It's such a massive piece of metal. It really is. I mean, that is solid. That is really, really solid. Wonderful, isn't it? What a lucky find in the basement, eh? All those years ago when I was very, very young. Right, okay then. Thank you very much. I shall now leave that one and come back with another one very, very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.